Okay. And I'm just going to call it Club A. I need to put a label on this for our, let me just.
Does it have a cavity back? I don't want to look.
Yes. They all have a cavity back at some point, but that's a good question. I think that, you know, you're a great candidate for a...
Not for a blade.
No, we're not going to get it, but a mixed model set.
Gotcha.
A little more game improvement in the longer irons, and then in the 8-9 and gap wedge, something that's a little bit more of a player's club, but has perimeter weighting.
Okay. Terrible?
No. Look at that. It came out of a different spot on the golf club, and it went 10 yards further.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's hit a few. I'm sure it feels much different.
It feels a lot different.
A lot different than your current club. So it's a little bit longer. It has a graphite steel shaft. It's a steel fiber shaft. It's a composite. It's a great transition. If you've always played steel,
Always have.
well, this is a great shaft for as we bridge towards graphite. Graphite has improved dramatically in the last 10 years, but this is, you know, you'll see this in a lot.
You know, I'm just going to trust whatever you tell me.
Okay.
You don't need to fill me with all that bullshit.
Okay. Okay. I will keep that to a minimum.
Right.
So let's talk about one thing real quick. Because your golf clubs have always been too short, Harv, you wear your glove out right here.
Yep.
And you don't have enough of it. And that's why I've given you a little bit longer golf club than what you currently have. What we want to have happen is, I want to see that much of the golf club.
Okay.
If you put your hand up in the air, so that you can see this, so that then at the top of your swing, I see rather than this is what's always happened. Okay. That's why I've given you a little bit longer club and a little bit bigger grip, so that you can start to get it in excellent. And even maybe just a quarter inch further down. Yeah, right there. That's perfect. Hit a few from right there. It's the only thing you do every time is grip it.
Okay.
Excellent. Right out of the center. Look at that, Harvey.
Right out of the center.
Uh-huh. 162 yards. There's that 10 to 12 yards.
And my 7 irons a 155 club.
Not anymore. I like that. A little thin.
Little
Right
thin
out
in my ass.
Right out of the center. How does that feel to you?
Feels weird.
Okay.
Because I've always gripped the club way up here like that.
Okay. So it sort of feels like you're choking down on it?
Yes, it totally feels like I'm choking down on it.
If you start hitting it out of the center, do you think that that's going to help?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think it's got to help.
Another good one.
High on the face.
Yeah, a little chunky, but it was out of the center. See that? Now we're talking millimeters, the width of a piece of paper.
Okay.
And that was just because that was a little fat. You bounced into it a little bit.
It looks like it went straight.
Very straight. 150 yard miss right down the middle.
Where'd that go?
That was straight as an arrow as well. Let's just try one other. It's the same thing, just a little different profile to see if we can get it to go a little further.
I actually like that club. I don't know. I'm not looking. I don't want to look at anything.
Okay.
You're going to be the judge.
No, you're the.
That's her, Mr. Carroll.
You're the judge.
Oh, you're the guy that knows what's going on.
I'm just the lawyer.
I'm just a good player. You're the guy that knows what's going on here.
Okay.
What did you do different on this one?
Has a little different bend profile. It's the same gram weight.
Okay.
Same head. That's the beauty of the fitting system here, is that I can change shafts without changing any. I'm changing one variable at a time.
Okay.
I started where I think you need, but I also want to see how this performs. So let's hit about 3 or 4 with this and see if we get a little better contact, as well as ultimately a little, maybe a few more yards.
Gotcha.
Because you're not getting any younger.
No. It looks pretty straight.
And it was a better miss. It was in the heel.
It's definitely a miss.
No, that was a better miss. And 165. We didn't lose any distance.
Toe and high.
170.
170 for reals?
Mm-hmm.
7 iron?
Mm-hmm. You're probably going to be a club longer with.
Sure feels like it already. Missed it, but straight. So, David, is that a real legitimate path?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the TrackMan has a great feature for fitting. It's called the optimizer. And I've pulled it up over here on the left. It's taken your swings, and the blue region, this is an average. The blue region talks about what your potentials are. So we need to get the spin rate up just a little bit. We need to get, obviously if the spin rate goes up, the height's going to go up. Launch angle's perfect. That's how you're using a loft on the golf club. Ball speed is about efficiency.
I have no ball speed.
Correct.
I don't know if that was a dig or what that was right there.
Wasn't anything.
I'm jacking my gear. Pull.
Pretty good miss though. 186.
I think that thing's off.
Well, we can take it outside. You want to hit it off the grass now?
Well, whatever you say. Hold on here. See how perfect this one is. It's crazy how it knows that face. That's baffling.
So there's 2 radars. Originally TrackMan had one radar that collected all the data off the ball. This is the dual radar, their latest one. It has one radar that tracks the ball, one radar that tracks the club head, and it has 2 different algorithms that it plugs those numbers into to give us all these tiles. There's actually a lot more tiles that are available, but I don't use them all.
So is that saying that ball carried 160 and rolled to 175?
That's correct. So this is all the club and ball data that's available. The ones that I highlight are the ones that I think are important for fitting.
Okay.
So yeah, and we can take it outside to prove it.
You just tell me what to do, when to do it.
Here, wherever you want me to hit. Let's make it a little tough. Little side hill, downhill lie. Okay.
Where am I aiming?
You pick the target.
How far is that blue flag?
That's why I brought this. 155.
Okay, so I should be able to fly over that with this.
Yeah.
You want me to swing away, right?
That's, yes sir. Just like you would on the golf course.
Am I lined up straight?
Yeah, you're a little bit right of it, but that's because you always pull it.
That's correct. That's a miss. But that's what I do a lot too, David.
You know, you're not. We can't text you in the middle of the night. Send you our swing ideas, right? So you got a family. That's all we got is you two. Why don't you come tomorrow? All right, brother.
There you go.
So good.
So that flew the green.
Yeah, it felt so good. Choke up.
Sorry about that.
You don't call that choke enough, I do.
No, you finally got the club in your hands in the right spot. Your posture has improved dramatically.
How's the new golf academy going?
Good. Yeah,
your back won't hurt as much.
I was a little off balance, but boy, that's money.
And that's the miss that I fit you off for right there, Harvey.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's a good miss.
Yeah, that's at the, so that, just,
That's a lot of times that's my ball flight. That's
correct.
Kinda,
Yeah, so just for fun, let's go back to over reliable.
grip it like I would.
Just do whatever you
Okay.
usually do with that. Let's see if we can get one right out of the center here to see how far it really goes outdoor. Gotcha. Stay on the center.
That's my miss. I hit that as good as I can hit it. Flew it. That's as hard. That's as good as I can hit that ball right there.
Right there.
That's a miss.
And it's as good
Straight as an arrow.
and it's as good as this one was out of the center.
Straight as an arrow.
The lie angle on this is correct for your path. Your golf clubs are too upright. That's why it goes left. And the lie angle is defined as this, the ground, and the way that the shaft is going in. So because you have a little out to in path, I've done this to the shaft. So that now this, the toe is down, pointed at the target, whereas your toe does that.
Exactly.
Correct.
You act like you know what you're talking about.
Well, occasionally. Just because Ryder's filming it.
Yeah.
I'm acting this one.
Chunky, straight as an arrow.
Chunky.
Does this have a bigger loft by chance, or are you not going to tell me?
No, I'm not going to tell you. You playing today?
Yeah.
You want to try that club?
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah, let me grab it. Thank you.
Kind of busy right now.
Why are they shorter now, but they're straight?
You hit a little. Notice where the divot was. This is when we started. How thin this was, and now how much deeper.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you're getting steeper.
Okay.
It helped inside because that shallowed you out. With your out to in path, it's very easy to get steep, and that's what causes this club to be pulled to the left. So for a few shots, let's just try to hit it off the bottom of the face, a little thin one, taking very little divot. I love it. Very coachable, Harv.
That was a miss and went farther than my other club.
Very good.
These are all going straight, David.
Sorry. You've only hit one left, and that was when you were really steep. So we know what causes the left. You just have to think thin. When you're on the golf course and you have a pull,
Yeah.
the next one you got to think about, I got to hit it thin.
Gotcha. There it is. Off balance too.
So, do you have any questions about
No.
this? Are you ready to look and see what you're hitting, or not yet?
I really like this club,
Okay.
but what I'd like to do is hit a different club.
Okay. Similar top line?
Similar, yeah, similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I mean, if I had to right now, I would say I'd just take this and be done and leave.
Okay.
But I just want to try something else.
Of course. Let me go grab, hit a couple like that, and I'll grab another head. We'll put it on that shaft.
What do we go with before we go out there and show them?
It's a Ping G440, 2 degrees flat. He's currently hitting the most forgiving tricks on. I'm gonna hit a couple.
Dude, did you see that one?
I saw that one. That's why I want to switch. Hit one or two. I'm gonna turn away from you so you can't see all of this because I know it's important to you. And I like that.
Feels like that other club goes farther only because I'm getting so much height out of this. That's another one of my misses like that.
But it wasn't pulled left. That was a good miss.
That was?
That's your miss. With your out to in path, the spin axis is going to make it miss this way. So the face was pointed towards your target. It didn't go left.
Okay.
We've got to get rid of the pull. We can't change your path until you get rid of the pull.
I like it. You ever been to Bandits?
Honestly, at my age, it's too much golf. We're doing 36, 36, 36.
A little heavy.
A little?
Right now, you get over here.
I don't want you to try to like.
I don't like
there.
this
I want you to try to like
Push yourself there.
Wait,
Don't fall
that's-
back into
Well,
it.
that is a hole in
Yeah.
one.
But you did a good job on that one.
Yeah.
The other one better?
I think the other one's better. I don't know, that was pretty good.
Like you. I mean,
He's right. But everybody else is.
Can we change to another head?
Yeah.
They're ending up on the ball.
I mean, I still think I like the first one better,
That's why we do this.
Yes.
but I like the height. But that one just felt more solid.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm not doing that one. What club is that? Or you don't want to tell me?
Sure, I'll tell you. This was the pink.
I don't want it.
Okay. That's all you got to say. But I'm not going to tell you what the first one was yet.
I don't want to know.
Let's try one more.
Yeah, let's try one more.
I got it.
And I want to find out, I mean, who's really going to want to sponsor me. That's what I want to do.
I saw. I see you. Your 2-year-old.
I guess that's up to you and your agent.
Yeah, I need to get an agent first.
Oh.
And they're both girls.
They just haven't recognized my talent. When I get these clubs,
Wrong. Too many girls.
then
in
we'll
your
call,
past life.
get some agents going, have a bid war.
Have you been to Bandit?
one.
Yeah.
Toe job.
Oh, very good.
You started to accelerate. Good. Now you're kind of looking like
Oh,
you're jumping.
smoked.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Let's go back to the first one.
I have to agree.
As they're pushing, they're also turning.
As hard as that is for you to... Want to see what this one is too?
Yep.
This was the Mizuno.
Yeah, I'm not a Mizuno guy. Don't put that in the video
On that one.
either.
So we're back to where we started.
Okay.
Just to reconfirm.
Okay.
You're getting like pushing down the face and stay relative mature because you're not having to try to time it. I don't even never had
0 for the left. Pretty much crank one left.
Harvard doesn't get any better than that.
No, I think this is the club.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, that was terrible.
That's Dave.
No, but it was great because
I saw
it was a
one.
thin
The
miss
new
to the
King
right.
driving iron.
That's the other end of you've been fat
I
and
think-
left.
yeah, we should have
That
break
thin
it.
miss to the right we can live with.
Okay.
Because the next one's going to come right down the chute, right out of the ground.
So, and you're right. With my
But
other
I'm
clubs,
also like
everything
that.
is fat and left.
pulled left.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a little thin.
No, but that now we can start. Now that you're doing what your ball is supposed to do for your path and face issue, we can start to work on your path. Because your ball was going left with your
And
old
once
clubs,
you start
and
getting
pull,
fitted for clubs,
you
Can't
couldn't
ever
feel
fire
it
the rack again.
out to in
And
or
you're
in
saying
out.
it was because the way it was bent and the short.
yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
That's a toe, but it's still a good shot.
No, great.
Smoked.
Yep.
I would
Yeah,
take
for sure.
those all day long, David.
Yeah. For sure.
Why am I so consistent?
Upright.
I think it's your fitter.
I think this is the club. What do you think?
I think it's perfect. You know, the only thing that we haven't discussed, and it's the last thing, is the grip. Now that you're holding it in a better place, Do you want to have a multi-compound? This is cord on the top and rubber on the bottom.
I want you to tell me what I should get.
Come on, let's take a little field trip. You can look at that now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you can look at it now.
What was it?
Yeah, Strixon, baby! Woo! I am so excited.
Zexia?
See, now that's what sent to Strixon right there.
What happened to Zexia?
I don't know what that is. We're not getting that.
So the only thing you use on every shot is the grip and the ball. The texture and the size are really important, but the most important thing is you getting it in the right part of your hand. We're going to build the clubs a little longer, like the one we were hitting out there, that length, so that you can get the golf club in a better spot. This would be, this is what you're currently playing. This would probably be closer to what I think you need, and just like we were talking about.
Is this a little bit fatter? Am I dreaming that?
And it has no. This one has no taper. So grips have a tendency to taper. They get smaller under your right hand.
I like that idea.
Yeah, this one is the same, because what I see, what happened is you didn't have the golf club in the right spot of your hands. So during transition, your right hand took over, and since it was a smaller diameter.
What grip was on that club we just did? That one?
No, it's a mid-size rubber. It's just a star mid-size. I put those on the fitting clubs because they blow on and off easily.
No, but I like the thought of the
non-taper.
Non-taper.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what Golf Pride calls that is their +4. And you can tell how that one's skinnier. And that's where I think your right hand,
You show me?
your right hand takes over, because you know your pinchers.
Makes total sense.
Right. On this one, there's more material, larger diameter. It's going to fit in your hands better.
Do I get a choice in colors or no?
I'd have to look at Strixon and see which in the +4s. What color would you like?
I don't know.
Let me look it up and see what our color options.
He's in a pretty docile outfit today. We usually got some colors to go for.
Yeah, no, we're not.
He knew
We're not looking for a black grip.
He knew we were filming, so
We're
that's
looking
why.
for something with color and flair.
Oh, look at this hug on camera. I would say I haven't looked at your wedges.
Junk.
Right. What's
Tyler.
the longest iron in your bag that you're comfortably hitting now?
6.
Okay. Let's do the 6 or the gap wedge.
Yes. Still busy with me.
All right, Harvey, what were your thoughts post-fitting?
Post-fitting, he totally exceeded my expectations. I came out here, I told him I did not want to know what club I was hitting, which he did that. I told him which one was my favorite. We went through all the stuff. The first one I liked the most, but I insisted on getting 2 more clubs. We tried that, and it just wasn't feel as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But this guy is way better than I thought. I've known him out here as a
Starter
marshal,
yeah.
and had no idea the talents and the knowledge and all the dedication he's got to the game. Totally impressed with what happened today.
What pushed you to want to get fitted for clubs?
I came out here and kept doing the same thing over and over again and kept trying to fix it on my own. I've taken lessons, nothing wrong with the lessons that I took, but I just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Nobody ever said, hey, have you checked your clubs, the loft and all these other things, the shaft, the grip? Never checked any of that. Did that today, and it's going to make all the difference in the world.
Do you think this helped you have a better understanding of your game and give you a little bit more confidence?
Absolutely, and the distance with the newer clubs is going to give me a lot more confidence. But I cannot wait to get my new clubs and get started.
I love it. That's awesome. Thanks, Harvey.
All right.
Appreciate you.